All right, guys, what is going on? So welcome back to a live trading recap. So actually, I just finished live streaming and I forgot that my recording was in the wrong screen, which is annoying because no one told me and I didn't really check the actual thing, which is right over here. And whenever I'm like, looking at four different screens, it's just a little bit harder. But it is what it is. So we'll just go over a trading recap on my trades I took today. So Nasdaq today just looked kind of like it wanted to fail. So on the market open, which was around here, we saw a big failure to move lower, and it came all the way down here, and that's what I call a collapsing dragon. So you can see that it just came all the way down. You see this pin right over here, and touched the 200 EMA, which it's one of the indicators that I use. Liquid 50 today, we saw that it was fairly rising right over here, making kind of higher lows and higher highs. Liquid 50 rising right over here, giving us a positive slope. And then MACD as well. It was back in the summer mode fairly, maybe about half the day, but eventually it just came all the way down. So, but I'm fairly bullish on the Liquid 50 right over here, right? So, we saw that. We had bearish divergence from the previous kind of last couple of days. And so we saw price action make lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, comes all the way down, bounces off the 200 EMA for a possible kind of reset of the trend, right? So we're seeing divergence. It usually likes to come down to the 200 or 800 EMA, and then eventually when it comes to that level, we usually see like a reset of a certain level, right? So that's what we saw today. And so we had divergence fairly on the market open. Right over here we had divergence, bullish divergence, and so we came all the way down here. I didn't take this entry, but this is just a example of a collapsing dragon, and this collapsing dragon went about 1.2 R, comes all the way down, gives us a very fairly a big red to green move, which I teach in the course. Comes all the way down here and then gives us a red to green move, bam, like that, right? So comes all the way up. Our entry was off the 50 EMA, which is one of our entries that we take, and then so we took it right over here for a level 1, a primary level 1 off the 200 EMA on the 15-minute chart. Comes all the way up, right? I added in on the 200 EMA for a scale in for my scale in strategy. I have a scale in strategy to scale in on positions that I know it's gonna have a really good move toward the upside, right? So that's what I did here. Scaled in on the 200 EMA, giving me really fairly good risk reward with my stop being at the 50 EMA and my just I would say initial stop, but not really take profit. I don't really have take profits on my entries and on my skeleton entries, and that's because I know that I want my trade to just basically have more room, and my potential in getting more risk to reward levels and more money is really high because especially whenever I'm trading the Nasdaq fairly moves really. It's a stock market, right? So the stock market is really bullish. It's been really bullish if you look at the last 50 years. It's been making new highs. So I know that throughout the whole day it could just literally start running toward the upside for a long time and not never stop at all, right? So that's why I don't have really any take profits even in my forex trades. I don't even have take profits. I like just basically having it giving it room, and then so I can take some money, getting some money off these more risk reward levels, right? So comes out to the 200 EMA, scaled in right over here, and then eventually this thing just pops up higher and higher and higher. So it comes all the way down here off this level right over here, and then so right now I think we're around almost 6R in profit right now, which is fairly good on our skeleton entry, and then about 4R in our first entry right over here. So yeah, just a really good trade. I mean, just a textbook setup based on our system, on the mechanical level scalping system. We had divergence, we had the RSI MACD, not both confirmations, but we had confirmations on that end as it continued to come up in the trend, and then we saw just a very good fast upshift on the 1821 EMAs. Just a quick shift on that. A very good red to green bounce, as you can see right over here. Just within a matter of minutes, we saw that the market comes all the way down, like it rejected here, comes all the way down, and then in a matter of minutes, it just comes back up, testing the previous high right over here. That's a red to green move, and that's telling us that a shift of momentum, and especially if it's coming off the 200 EMA. And it's just it's telling us that an indication of possible reversal, right? So We took advantage of that. We had some people in our course take that, which I can go ahead and show you that as well. And just a very good, trade. Like, I mean, just very easy. Like, as soon as it just comes up into profit, I mean, like, as soon as it comes to 1R, like, I lock myself at break even, I close some of the partial profits, and then now it's just, you're just a manager, right? You're a risk manager. You're managing the position to see how much money you can get from it. So, yeah, just fairly easy day today. No matter what, I started trading at 8:30. Now it's 9:33. I ended at 9:20 a.m. So about like less than an hour of trading, and I'm already done for the day. So that's part of my style of trading. That's why I love trading these indices, because I can basically make money within the first hour of the day, or even the first 30 minutes of the day, and then basically be done for the day, and not have to worry about like looking at the charts for a couple of hours and just 6-7 hours, and which was a problem for me. Whenever I was a forex trader, like I traded a lot of forex. You know, couple like about like a year ago, about 6 or 7 months ago, where I traded like just forex. It was really hard for me because I just strictly focused on forex and would wait literally 4, 5, 6 hours of the day. I would wake up fairly early, like I would wake up about about 3 a.m. and then just basically be done around 9 a.m., 10 a.m. Sometimes not even done until like 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. Right? So just a lot of hours like looking at the charts in forex. And with Nasdaq, price action is just super volatile, super liquid. It gives us, the tentacles are there. There's nothing like too. It's not like Bitcoin or crypto where the tentacles are a little bit kind of messed up. Like whenever you're looking at like longer term perspectives. So I mean, for me, it's just easy, right? So as soon as you have an edge, as soon as you have confidence, as soon as you back test that, and as soon as you trade the Nasdaq on a consistent basis, it's a tool that you can make a lot of money on an consistently on average days. So that's what we had today. Just a fairly easy day. Just within a matter of minutes on the market open, we were in profit and we were managing the position. If we look at the 15-minute chart, you can see here how it just just a clean bounce right there, right? Comes all the way up here, clean bounce comes up here, and we literally broke through all these levels, out of these consolidation zones right over here. Levels right over here. We broke them. Then we're still trying to basically stall out this level right over here, which is the high of about April 6th, which I believe it was like what, Monday, or I believe it was yesterday. So yeah, I mean, so now we're waiting for that. Our next kind of initial profit center would be right over here, off this previous high, yesterday's high. So, which is possible. It's definitely possible because, we have a reset on the 200 EMA. Liquid 50 is coming back up on the 15-minute chart. Right now, you see how the RSI and TL is like that. Like, that's a very good sign, as well as the RSI. I mean, eventually, we are expecting a pullback on this. Like it's normal for a pullback. But fairly off, 8 and 21 EMA will be my the levels that usually the price action will come down and bounce and come higher. So my kind of takeout, like if if it goes against my direction, it will be off the 50 EMA. So if it breaks off that 50 EMA, I'm pretty much done for the day and just closing all my positions on that. But yeah, just a fairly easy day right now. So we'll see what we do here. Like if you look at the 1 hour chart, we're seeing a lot of momentum on these candles right over here. Just a bounce off that 50 EMA, which is a significant level. Oops. Which is a significant level right over here. So just to bounce off that. And so yeah, I mean, I could definitely expect this thing to come all the way higher toward this previous high right over here. That's definitely possible. And we have the shift on the 8 and 21 EMAs on the 15-minute chart, and oops. And on the daily chart, we have about it's definitely possible to see this kind of momentum, because look, we bounced off from the previous low right over here, making a higher low, and so it's definitely possible to reach the high possibly today, this week, on April. So we're Wednesday right now, so it's definitely possible for it to reach all the way toward the high on this, because usually whenever you see that, and then just look at these momentum candles right over here. Big candle right over here for this day, big candle for this day, a little consolidation doji right over here, but big candle right over here, a little bit of a, I would say not a doji, but indecisive candle right over here, And then so from this candle, I am expecting it to be kind of a fairly big candle, or a candle that breaks toward the previous range that we had. So yeah, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. ADR still has room. Like, we have definitely room on it. ADR is about 207 points, which is definitely possible, right? And then so I'm expecting it. The possibilities of it breaking off this range is pretty high. Usually because whenever we have an indecisive doji candle on the previous day, the next day we usually have like a big momentum. Whenever ADR has been maxed out from the last couple of days, like at least the last 7 or 10 days, and the volatility on the standard deviation, which is an indicator that I use, which I could just show you right over here. I mean, it's been fairly high, right? You can see these balances right over here, fairly high on the standard deviation, which is a measurement of volatility, right? So, whenever you have that, and then you have a doji on the previous day, and then ADR at least 30%, right, of the max out. So, on this average day, we moved about 80 points out of the 222 points on ADR. So that's about 30% of ADR. It's been maxed out in the previous days. It's an indecisive kind of doji candle on the 1 daily chart. So just based on that, I took advantage of that looking at yesterday's price action, and for today, I use that as an advantage, and I took advantage of the trade that I had today on the market open, and this thing can definitely just keep on continuing going higher. Like, I can expect it like breaking off this previous high off this range and possibly going to max ADR, right? So yeah, I mean, this is a tool that I use on a daily basis. I've traded Nasdaq for such a long time that I know how it moves on an average day. I know the ADR levels. I know just basically standard deviation levels, and how I can consider all of that of volatility to my advantage, and that's what I did today. So maybe I'll teach that. Maybe I'll teach that how I can kind of predict these very high, enormous moves that I usually take whenever I see the setups presenting itself, right? So that's pretty much it for today's recap. We're up about only 2% for today, so I'm definitely happy about that. It's a little bit of money that I'm taking before I ship out to OSUT next week. So I've been streaming this whole week, and I've been doing more YouTube videos because I am leaving next week on April 13th to OSUT training. So I'm going to the infantry to train there at Fort Benning. So I won't be training for about 6 months, which is a lot. Like, it's a lot for me, but it is what it is. I can't really do anything about it. But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoy this little recap. Sorry about that. Just basically not having my recording screen on the proper screen on my live stream. So it is what it is. Hopefully tomorrow we can get that set up right, and as well as catch another good trade before Friday, and hopefully Friday we can catch a good trade, hopefully. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this recap. Let me know if you guys have any questions about anything, again, as well as we have the live discount on our course right now. So it's about $50 off using the code SELL. It's a very cheap price for the course with the amount of work that I put onto it on a daily basis. Just a lot of work into it. All right, I put over 40, 50 plus hours on the course. There's about 10 plus 11 hours of content into the course as well. So it's a very good course, and it's a very good investment in my opinion, because I really put a lot of information in that course that it talks about my system, but it talks about tools that traders need to become successful in this industry, like statistics, analyzing your back testing, forward testing results, just a lot of tools that you could use to your advantage whenever you're trading, fairly any instrument, right? And let me go ahead and so I think we had some of our members take this trade. I was managing it. I know Omar took this trade. Dominic was taking UJ. One of my friends took this trade on Nasdaq right now as well. So yeah, I mean, just fairly good. Like, I know a lot of our traders have been really consistent with Forex as well. Look at Dominic took Euro JP on a level 3 right over here. We had Danny take about 3R on Nasdaq right now as well, so that's a fairly good thing. Euro USD taking a trade right over here. A little bit choppiness on EuroCAD, which is it's definitely something that it's possible right there. EuroCAD as well. He's just putting out notes right over here. So yeah, I mean, you know, fairly good day for today. So it looks like Nasdaq is trying to push down right now. So if it breaks toward the 50 EMA right now, then I'm possibly just gonna get out fully on that 50 break, because we're in the downshift right now in the 8 and 21 EMAs. We have divergence. You know, we haven't hit, like, technically hit overbought, but we have divergence. So you know, it's a possible indication for me to try to get out on that. So if it breaks off the 50 right over here in this zone right over here as well, I'm possibly just gonna get out, full entries, full out of like my whole positions and stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully you guys are having an awesome day. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and I will be back tomorrow for the live stream.